cat is guarding my weights. So let us start out with shoulder rolls. Welcome. Before you do shoulder rolls, let me welcome you to the class. Welcome. Ageless Balance, I'm Ron. Start out with these now. Now you can roll your shoulders. Starting out small, we'll do standing. Roll the shoulders back and back. Palms up on the way up, down on the way down. Get bigger. Get bigger with it. Get big and big. Okay, that's big enough. And go back the other direction. Starting out smaller, getting bigger. Get those shoulders stretched out a little bit. Working the bone within the socket. So you got palms up on the way up, palms down on the way down. Rotation through the shoulders, forward, back, as well as in the shoulder socket and down. Rotation, arms out. Going into a stagger step. Hold on, I'll be right back. Going into a stagger, arms out in front, like this. Feet parallel, knee over the ankle on the front. Back foot parallel with the front foot. Bring the shoulders around. That was smooth. Just the shoulders. Keep the torso forward and bring it back. Step it back, other side. So we do this stance right here because it's much more stable than if you had the feet together. You would have a tendency to lean forward. This way you can just settle right down between the legs so that you are rotating the spine and not bending at the same time, because it doesn't bend and rotate at the same time. And in. So we just work the shoulders on that one. This time we're going to get the torso involved. Knees stay forward on both feet. So toes, knees, right there. Don't let them change. So you don't want that knee to roll out, because if you do, the hips are going to roll. And that's going to hurt the lower back. Back to center, other side. Hands out. Only go as far as is comfortable for you. If you feel any tweakage in the lower, I like that word, tweakage. If you feel any tweakage in the lower back, stop. Stop. That means the hips are probably turning. So roll it around. As long as you keep the feet flat on the floor, knees pointed forward with the toes, you shouldn't have a problem. Bring it back. All right. We're going to have down, 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 into a squat. Push the butt back just a little bit. Bring the arms up overhead. Deep breath in. Through the nose, exhale, coming down. So in a hip hinge, I'm sorry, this isn't a hip hinge, this is a squat. Knees over the laces of the shoes. And roll the hips underneath, push up through the heels. Don't go through the toes. If you could put the weight forward going through the toes, you will put it through the knees, and that's painful. One more time. Up, over the top. Deep breath in, and exhale, bringing the arms down. Skaters, around and around. Arms come across, right there, and back. So you get those arms switching, which one's on top. Squeeze the chest to bring the upper back stretched out. Squeeze those muscles in the upper back between the shoulder blades to stretch out the chest, front and back. Hips stay forward on the skater, toes pointing forward. Out and around. You want the hips right straight out. Hips, shoulders, knees and toes all pointing forward. And you are there. Arms up in a cactus. Bring the elbows together. Nice and tight. Ouch. And back again. I went too tight. Shouldn't do that. I won't do that next time. Bring together. Hold it. And out to the sides. Keeping the shoulder blades back, chest out. Bring the arms up, straight up. So when you get to the top, wrists, elbows, shoulders are in alignment, and then bring it back down again. As you come down, roll the shoulders back, opening up the chest, feeling those muscles work between the shoulder blades at the base of the neck. One more time, bring it up, getting that stretch through the shoulder muscles, but also engaging the chest and the upper back. Bring it down. We're going to rotate the hands down. Again, rotating within the shoulder socket. Only go as far as is comfortable for you. Bring it back and forward. Bring it up and back down, hands down, Freak it out. High knee. Up and up. Find your balance. If you need the chair, use it for this one. You're on that stationary leg. Weight shifts over that leg. Picking the other foot up. You're on the ball of the foot to the heel on that stationary leg, having full surface contact with the bottom of the foot. Up. Opposite arm, opposite leg for balance. Up. Feel the muscles working in the leg and the glutes, all across the hips. As you lift that foot up, the other foot is doing all the work to hold you upright. I'm not switching hands very well. Here we go. We got it. Up and up. We got a whole lot of sand kicking around down here. Sorry about that. Up and up. Arms up to the side in that cactus again. Rotate the shoulders as you bring that foot up. So the shoulder girdle moves across, not just the shoulder. If you just bring that arm across using these muscles in the chest, it's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to stretch out the chest, stretch out the shoulder blades, and move the middle of that back, that thoracic spine, where the rotation happens. Plus, order now, and you also get the obliques with that one. Up and around. And right there. So you get those obliques, those ab muscles on the side that work a rotation, bringing the torso around, but the shoulders have to stay straight. Feet out. Wide, shoulder width apart, plus. Shoulders plus. Pushing the butt back, not very far. Knees stay over the ankles. And drive through the hips to bring it up. So what it feels like is you're going out here, you're feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, going up in the lower part of the glutes there. And then as you come forward, it's like somebody's pushing the butt forward. Knees stay over the ankles, and you're driving up through the hips, rolling them up, not letting the knees bend forward. They stay right where they are. All the work is done in the hamstrings and the glutes. Again, bring it up. Squeeze the muscles in the legs. Tightening up so that you can keep those knees right where they are. Right here, we're going to go down on the side. Shoulders stay square to the floor. Putting the weight into that lead leg, bending the knee, pushing the butt right straight back. So it's out. The other leg stays straight. Push up through that foot, going off to the other side. Same thing. Again, shoulders square to the floor. Shoulders come right straight down. Chest comes toward the floor. You're looking down at it, and then you're pushing up through that bent leg and down one more time on the other side. Arms out, roll the shoulder blades back, open up the chest. Deep breath in, exhale, arms up overhead to the center, and then bring them down to that other side. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Push up, back to the center, arms out, right here to the side. We're going to do a rotation. Little bend in the knees, butt back just a little bit, not very much. Shoulder blades have to stay back. Spine stays straight so that you can rotate it. If you bend and rotate at the same time, you're putting stress on the vertebrae. So we're keeping those back straight as we rotate the shoulders. And back again. As the other exercise, you don't want to just reach across to that other foot. That's not working with the muscles we're trying to get into that upper back and work the obliques. So you take that shoulder girdle, you keep it right straight in alignment, and then come down and up, butt back. Torso comes down toward the floor, right straight down. You're looking down as you rotate. Push up one last time. Down and up. Step out to the side. We haven't done a whole lot of lateral steps. Out and out. Da, 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 da. I'm a dancer. I'm a dancer. You can see it. Arms up. Step jacks in the middle. They come together. Up on top when you step out. In and out. Get the arms up as high as you can. This is more about getting that movement through the hips. As you roll the shoulders up and over the top, reach to the opposite sides. Foot comes in, find your balance. Foot up and out. Take your time with it. And back in. This is as much a balance and range of motion exercise as it is anything else. Bring it across, up and over. and bring it back. Reverse lunge, step it back. Bring back that left leg and up, right leg back and up. As you step back, weight goes into the ball of the foot. As you come forward with it, put the weight into that heel in the front leg, pushing down into the floor in the front leg, roll the hip underneath, pick that back leg up and walk it in. So you're not pushing off the back foot. That just puts weight into the toes, which goes right into the knees again, going through that meniscus on the front of the knee. Back and up. Step back, little bit of bend, a little bit of hip hinge here. Knee stays over the laces of the shoes, not past. Out and in, out and back up. Again, don't use the back foot to push you up. Use the front leg to raise you up, driving up, and then bring that other foot in. Out and in, out and in. We got it. It's time for a drink of water, and then we're going to go to the weights. Standing or seated, your choice on the weights. You can do these either way. I'll bring the chair out. I'll try to do both, show you each of them. So the first one is going to be just a squat, weighted squat with the weights. Still using the chair, you can do the same thing. Coming out to the edge of the chair, going into a hip hinge. Let me do this way, because what you got to look at, hips, shoulders, back. You're going to lean forward, push up, back up to the chair, and then take your time going down as nice and slow as you can. As you go down, all the weight goes into the heels of the feet. What you don't want to do is lean way forward, weight goes in the toes, and then come down. It's the butt back, set, and down. Like that. Or standing. Just a straight squat, arms on the sides. Shoulder blades are back. 40 seconds we're going to do this for. Go at your pace. We come down, knees don't go over the toes, knees go over the laces of the shoes with the butt going back. And then roll the hip forward, up to standing. Back down. So that hip creates an arc as you come up. Don't lock the knees at the top. Stop at the bottom. Using those muscles to stop the momentum completely, and then to restart from a standstill is a lot more challenging than just bouncing up and down. Hold at the bottom, roll the hips as you come up. Back down. 2 more. Roll and push. Last one. Take it down. See if you can get just a little bit deeper with it. Make sure the shoulder blades are back as you drive up through the heels. Next. Yes, single weight. If you are using 2 weights, what we're going to do is a squat to a high knee, from standing, down and up. From a seated, you can do, I need a seated person to help me here. If you can, going down in the chair to a sit to stand, coming up, if you can lift that leg, perfect. If not, just come up on the balls of the feet or ball of the foot and then go back down. And then the other side, either one of those, your options. So first thing we're going to do is go down in a squat and then come up nice and slow. As you're coming up, bring the leg up with you and then back down again. So what we're doing is working the brain here by lifting that leg, making sure that the right and left legs are moving together. So as you're going down with the right leg, left leg's extending, they both hit, and then you pick up. So really the last bit of that is a single leg finishing it off. Back down. Notice the torso's coming down at the same time. So everything is collapsing down and then up on the other side. You want that smooth movement. That's what keeps you from falling. It's a huge benefit so that when you're moving, you don't have those choppy moves, catch a foot on the ground. You're able to be much more agile, correct any imbalances, up, make quick movements side to side, down and up one last time. Whoa, I overdid. Back. And it's good that I overdid. That's how we learn how to do it right. All right, single leg deadlift. So from the standing position, feet parallel, coming down to that knee in the front, butt goes back, shoulder blades are back. So what you don't want is to be here. You want to be here with that straight line, pushing through the heel of that front leg. So you're bringing the hip in by squeezing the muscles in the back of the front leg, staying on that side. It's down and back up from a seated position. It is the same thing. One foot out, you're going down into a hip hinge, and then drive through that front heel to up, down, and back up. Either way, here we go. Stagger step, one side only, starting now. And down. Butt goes back, and push through that front leg. Butt comes forward. Out. And back up. Take your time with it. Stop at the knee. Push the butt out as far as you can get it. Feel the hamstrings and the glutes stretch. And then drive that hip forward. Again, it's like, imagine somebody's pushing just the butt. Nothing else can move. Down. And up. 10 seconds. Take it down in front. Hold. Stop there. Come up. Remember, don't go any lower than the knee. Other side. Same complete thing. Feet are parallel. Knee is over the ankle on the front leg. Don't let it go forward. Stays right there. We're going to go down to that hip hinge. Back stays straight. So shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Pushing the butt out is how you're coming down. And then pushing the butt in is how you come up. Down. So it's not leaning forward. It is pushing the butt back, which just drops the torso. And up. That's how I picture it, is my body stays straight on top, and I just throw the butt out, which brings the shoulders down toward the floor, and then go the other way with it, pushing the heel into the floor on the front. Down. And drive up. One more time. Take it down. Hold there. And push back up. Take a break. Take a break. Those was the first set. Grab some water, set the weights down, walk it out just a little bit. If you're seated, go into a march from here. So you can be on the chair. Just keep things moving. That's the most important part of this. We use the lower body on that one. You just want to keep those legs moving. You want to cool the muscles down. Give them a chance to, we contracted them, give them a chance to stretch out just a little bit, not cool off completely. All right, next set. Next set. If you need a break at any point, if you start these standing and you need to go to seated at any point, up to you, you can do that. That's the way I put it together so you can. All right, next part. We're going to do a plie. Toes out, heels in, step the legs out, knees point in the same direction as the toes. We're just going to go down in a squat, push the butt back, knees stay over the ankles, shoulders stay back. So here's what usually happens is a lot of times the knees will come in like that as you go down. Don't let that happen. If that happens, bring the legs in just a little bit so you can keep the knees over the ankles. If you do this, where the knees come in, you're putting all sorts of stress on the outside of that joint because that's coming together, and it shouldn't be. The weight should be evenly distributed all the way through that joint, all the way around. All right, here we go. Butt back, sitting into it, down, and up. As you come up, it's a hip hinge again. Down, roll the hips underneath, squeeze the glutes, push up through the heels. Feel the muscles working in the groin and the inner thighs as you get to the top. Down, roll it, feet flat, push up, and you're there. Down, hold, roll the hips, and push up. So we're working the glutes and the inner thighs and the quadriceps on this one. Down, roll. Feel those glute muscles squeeze, pushing the butt forward. Then you get to the top. Give them a good one last contraction and then release it. Shake that out. We are going to do heel raises. We're going to do a couple different heel raises. First one is going to be toes in. So like this, right here, up with the heels, weight is on the ball of the foot, not in the toes. Goes from inside to outside. So you want full surface contact with the ball of the foot on the floor, inside to outside. As you come up, muscles on the outside of the legs are pulling those heels out. You're getting an external rotation. You're working the muscles on the outside of the ankles, strengthening up the ankles and the outside of the calf muscles. Plus, we're working the quadriceps. So bring it up. Hold it. Feel the muscles working in the lower leg, in the back, and bring it back down again. Mine weren't in very much. Back up. Don't have to come up very high with the knees or with the heels. You're going to feel it there. Up, hold it, and then back down. Going slow, not going high. It's taking your time with this one. Really concentrating on getting that ball of the foot flat on the floor. You're going to feel all the muscles working through the ankles, all the way up the legs, into the glutes to keep that balance. 2 more. Up, hold for a count. Bring it back in. 1 more. Up and back down. Sorry, from the seated position, you're doing the same thing. You're just putting the weights on the thighs and bringing the heels up with the toes pointing in. Toes out. So now we have that opposite rotation with the heels in this time, working the inner thighs, coming up right over the balls of the feet again, and back in. Keep the heels in as much as possible. This one, you're severely going to feel, or should, up that rear chain. If you're on the chair, again, just put the weights on the legs and bring up the heels with the heels in. So it is up. Outside is pulling that foot out. All those muscles on the outside are pulling that leg out so that the ball of the foot stays flat on the floor. Inner thighs are working on those heels to keep them in. Ankles are totally engaged here. So important because the ankles do not get worked out anywhere near enough. Bring it up. And back down. See if you can bring the feet in just a little closer and do it. The closer they are together, the less balance you're going to have from, or less stability you're going to have from a wider set. The closer you get, the narrower the feet are, the more you limit your base, the more the core has to work to hold you in place. And back down. Keep the knees bent just a little bit. Last one. Up. Hold. And back down. That is one of the best all muscles exercise, going from in to out. All right. Next one, we're going to do biceps curls. Palms forward, shoulders back, seated or standing, your call. If you're standing, a little bend in the knees, shoulder blades are back. Even if you're sitting, this is the important piece here, keeping that back in neutral, straight line from the tailbone to the back of the head. And it is elbows pointing toward the floor. Bring it up and back down. 1/4 of the way up to 3/4 of the way up, holding right there. And then down nice and slow. Get those elbows out. The farther the weight is from your body, the more you have to work. And up. If you are feeling any pain in the shoulders and the weight is too much, You can adjust by bringing those elbows back just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And back down. Bring it up. You got a little bend in those knees yet. Arms up. And back down. 2 more. 2 more. Up. Last one. Bring it up. Hold right there. And back down. Super slow. Here's where you really want to take your time is when you're out in the middle there. Just make sure your shoulders aren't rolling forward and chin's coming to the chest. You want to keep the shoulder blades back as you let those weights drop. As the weight pulls forward when you're way out here, it's going to want to pull the body with it. So that's where you really have to work on keeping those shoulder blades back. We are going up into the shoulders. We hadn't gotten there yet. Here we go. Hands up on the side, weights racked, palms in. So the weights right next to the ears, right over the shoulders, is called the weights are racked. And first way we can do this, palms in. This is the safest on the shoulder, puts the least stress on the shoulder. So if you have any shoulder problems at all, keep the palms in. Don't go all the way up to the top. Keep a little bend in that elbow. And back down. Only go as high as your shoulders say is right for you. Still got a little bend in the knees. Shoulder blades are back as you're doing this. If that is not a problem for you, you can do palms forward, elbows out. That works a little more of those deltoids around the shoulder socket. Or you can do even more by putting a rotation in there. Palms facing on the way down. And then as you go up, do a rotation. As you rotate, you're using the chest, you're using the upper back, as well as those shoulders muscles, the deltoids around the shoulder socket. And back down. Shoulder blades are back. Squeeze them together. And up. Any pain in the shoulders, go back to that neutral position. And then maybe not go up as high. Just find that spot where you can still get the shoulders without hurting them, but you're still getting the strength into them. One more time. Up. Hold. And back down. Again. All right, that was the second set. We have 1 set left. Grab a drink of water before we do it. Shake the arms out, shake the legs out. Keep walking, just flopping around. Just feel the muscles stretch out. You know what feels good. I mean, just move around a little bit. When it feels good, do that. And I remember back in the 70s, that was a bumper sticker or a poster. If it feels good, do it. That's a stretching. Here's the other side of that. If it doesn't feel good with stretching, don't do it. If you feel there's something wrong with the stretch, there probably is. It's best to just get out of it and try it again at some other time. All right, first thing we're going to do is going into a stagger step. Hinging at the hip, knee over the ankle. Arms out, we're going to bring them back. Extend, in, and back out. So you've got knee over the ankle, shoulder blades are back. Key here is get into this where you roll the shoulder blades back as far as you can, feeling that little curve in the lower part of the back. You want to keep that there the entire time. Out, in. The more you can hold those shoulder blades back and chin up, the more you're going to be in that neutral position, the safer you're going to be for that lower back. Out, in. And then you can start hinging just a little bit deeper, a little more hip hinge, which works the muscles a little more because now you're engaging gravity just a tad more. In. Extend at the elbows, don't lock them out. Muscles working in the back of the upper arms. As you come in, feel the shoulder blades, squeeze them together. Keep them right there as you extend at the elbows and then back out. So in, back, squeeze those muscles. Feel it in the back of the upper arms. Feel those triceps. Up, feel the burn. In and out. Back of the arms, between the shoulder blades on that one. And there'll be some front of the shoulder on that one because you had the weights up. So it has to use those deltoids to hold the arms up. Next one, going to that other leg. Other leg. So stagger step, knee over the ankle. Back foot parallel with the front foot. Pushing the butt out in that hip hinge. Arms a little bit on the side, just up a little bit. We're not going to work the shoulders a lot, holding them up here. Keep them down a little bit, but just enough that you can feel there's a little tension in the arm. Bring the shoulder blades together, squeeze them, and then come back down again. Elbows are bent, but the elbows don't hinge. Strictly those shoulder blades tightening up, drawing the shoulder blades in. So the muscles between the shoulder blades contract, bringing those shoulder blades in, which brings the arms up and then back down again. Back again. As important as every hip hinge, every time we get over that front leg, keep those shoulder blades back. Try to keep a little curvature to the lower back. Hold. And all these can be done seated, doing the same thing, just bending forward and up, just hinging at the hip. Back. So it's exactly the same exercise. You're just seated instead of using the legs to hold you up. And back down. 2 more. Up. And last one, shoulder blades together and down. So those are the posture muscles completely, those muscles between the shoulder blades, which bring the shoulder blades back. Once that gets strong, tightens up, it brings it back. That brings the chin up, putting you into neutral position. A lot less pain on the back than going around with the chin down to the chest, looking at the floor. As soon as you bring those shoulders back, that chin comes right up, putting you where you want to be. All right, next one we're doing, last one we're doing. We're going to go into, hold on, feet side by side, about shoulder width apart, little bend in the knees. And go up on one side, little bend in the elbow, bringing the weight up, arms parallel with the floor. As that comes down, the other one's going to go up and hold. Any problems with the shoulders, bend the elbows and then arc the elbows up. And on the other side, closer the weight is to the body, the less the muscles have to work. And if your shoulder's giving you any problems at all, that's what you can do. Otherwise, extend out at the elbows. But again, arcing the elbows up is what you want to think about. And up. Up and down, teaching the brain to be able to do both sides of the body, doing opposite things. Helps rewire the wiring in your brain. Makes you think faster, helps your reaction time, sends the messages to the muscles from the brain a whole lot faster because you're strengthening those channels up, those pathways that the signals go through. Up, because you're forcing the brain to work a lot harder this way. One goes up, one goes down evenly. Other side. One last time. Up on the left. Up on the right, and bring it down. Roll the shoulders out, weights down. That was all 3 sets. We're done with that. We're going to go to the chair. We are going to finish up by cooling down on the chair. Again, shake it out. We're gonna do a little bit of that, but keep moving. Keep the joints moving, arms. You want to keep those muscles moving, not under a lot of tension and not just flailing either. You want to be in control of it. Bring them around, shoulder blades back, that kind of thing where you're going slowly, but you're not tightening the muscles up. You're just controlling that soft movement. And around like that. Shake it out. Going to go up over the top into a side bend. Take the left arm right up, right next to the ear. Shoulder blades are back. Again, neutral position. You want to take that spine and bend it to the side. If you try bending it forward and to the side at the same time, you're putting all sorts of stress on one point of the vertebrae. You want to come up over the top. Spine is straight so that you go down on the side and you're stretching out the vertebrae on one side. And these are just stacking on each other. They're not twisting at the same time. And the weight is distributed all the way through that side of the bone. and down. Other side, arm up, over the top. Sits bones stay flat on the chair. If you lift the sits bone up and you lean out to the side, there's no extra stretch that comes from that. You want to feel this all the way up the rib cage, going up through the shoulder and then down to the little finger. Stretch it. And bring it back down, both arms up overhead. Fingers intertwined, palms to the ceiling. So fingers meshed. If you can, push up towards the ceiling. If you can't get the palms all the way, go as far as you can. Just whatever you can get out of those muscles. Because when you go to the stretch, that change of putting the palm up adds all sorts of extra stretch into the arm. You're going to feel it on the inside, outside, top, bottom, and fingers and wrist. Hands, fingers, knees and toes, knees and toes. Come on down on the side. Keep the fingers up, or keep the palms up as you do this. And back up, you're going to feel lots more stretch, lots more. Through the arms, through the shoulders with that rotation. Bring it back up. Bring the arms down. Little circles with them. Back and forward. Again, take your time, go easy. If arms way out too much for you, then bend the elbows and keep the movement smaller, but make sure that you're rotating the arm in the socket. That's the important piece on this one. And shake it out. Grab onto the back of your chair. Either the bottom of it or the back of it. What you're looking to do is use that as leverage to bring the shoulder blades back, stretching out the front of the shoulders, stretching out the chest. Deep breath in through the nose. Force it down into the lungs, and then push the stomach out, driving the air down the lower part of the lungs. And exhale, bringing the hands onto the thighs. Roll the shoulders. This is going to be that cupping the shoulders forward. Now the chin comes to the chest, one of the only times we do that. Deep breath in, stretching out the upper back. And exhale, coming back to center. We should do a rotation. Right hand outside the left knee. Shoulder blades are back. Take that left hand, grab onto the back of the chair. What's important here is that this hand, the right hand, stays the outside of the left leg. That shoulder stays pointed right out in front of you. Back shoulder is going to do the rotation. Shoulder blades are back, looking right straight out in front of you. Take that back shoulder and rotate with it. Deep breath in, keeping the chin up. Get the neck around just a little bit more and come back to center. We're going to do the same on the other side. Left hand outside the right thigh. Taking that right hand, grab onto the back of the chair or the seat of the chair, whichever. You want to start out though with the chin up, looking right out in front of you. Front shoulder straight out in front, and then back shoulder rolls. Bring the spine with it. You should feel no tweaking in the lower back. Nothing should be moving down there. Deep breath in and exhale. All movement happens from the middle of the back. That is the only place that can hinge, that can rotate in the spine. Is that thoracic spine right in the middle. If you try turning the hips at the same time, there's no rotation down there. You're just pulling the muscles as you turn. That's why you cause problems for the lower back. Figure that out. We're going to bring the hand across. Back of the hand to back of the hand. With this, shoulder rolls. If you turn the torso like I see a lot of people do, there's no stretch that's happening in the shoulder. And we're looking for the stretch in that back shoulder. Pull it around using that front hand around and back to center, other side. Feel the stretch, shoulder blade and through the shoulder. You'll notice if you turn the torso, don't go very far if you try it, because you're going to hurt the back. If you turn the torso, you're not going to feel any more stretch. What you're looking to do is get those shoulders to rotate just a little bit more. And then bring it back to center. Shake that out. Feet apart. Knees, toes pointed out at 45s. Knees stay out there. Hands on the thighs, making sure, take the hands, hold them this way so that you're holding that knee out over the ankle and then coming right straight down. This time you're keeping the chin same distance away from the chest, all the way down. All you should feel is that spine or the lower back, hip hinging, coming down, stretches in the lower back. Hold there. Push through the palm of the hands to get you back up again, keeping the shoulder blades back. As you come up, all the work was done by the hands, not in the chest, not by the lower back. Coming down one more time. He knows where my hands are going to go on this one. He just knows it. Hands to the floor, roll the shoulders down. Chin never leaves the distance from the chest. It stays right where it is. You're rolling the shoulders toward the floor, stretching out. Hands come up onto the thighs. Again, push. Use the hands to bring you up. Don't use that lower back. Anytime you have to pick something up off the floor, and what I see a lot is down and then bring the head up first, and then use these muscles in the lower back to try to bring that spine up. And it's going to hurt, especially if you're holding something heavy. You've got all your weight out front, and now you're using very small muscles to try to lift you. Use the big muscles to get you up. All right, hands underneath the thighs. Grab on, squeeze tight, all the air out of the lungs. So clench those muscles in the stomach, tighten up those abs, like that. And then deep breath in as you come up. Shoulder blades come back, and use that whole upper back to bring you up, keeping that spine straight as you come up. Deep breath in. Through the nose, push the stomach out, and exhale, coming back down. Forcing all the air out again. Grab on, shoulders down toward the floor. You're looking down at the floor. Shoulders come back. So what you're doing, the first thing you're doing is using those shoulders to bring the spine into neutral, right there, and then pushing through the heels, squeezing the glutes to bring you up. Arms up overhead. Deep breath in, stomach out, and exhale, bringing the arms down. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I will see you again on Wednesday. Wednesday will be our next class. Be here. Enjoy it.